That's my daughter calling. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you what is Visa, how we started, who are the key people behind Westeros Indian Swedish Association, and what do we do. Next slide, please. So what is Visa? What is Westeros Indian Swedish Association? We are an association which provides a platform for people of Indian origin to come together, to connect, to share, to engage, and to build a community. A community where you can share the rich Indian heritage. Not only that, you can also learn the Swedish way of life. It's a two-way street. This is what we stand for. Who are the founding members of Visa? So on the left, you see our founding fathers. Mr. Rahul Kanchan, who is handling who's there on the top. Rahul, you can wave your hand there. The founding member of Visa, the ex-chairman. A round of applause for Rahul. Next, we have Somnath Da, sitting on the first row. Somnath Da, please. Ratna? I do not see Ratna here. Chitra? She's also the event lead for today's function. Chitra? A round of applause for Chitra. Mr. Amit Vaidya, sitting on the first row. Amit? He is equivalent to Dr. Ambedkar for our constitution. And last but not the least, Nicholas. Nicholas, please wave your hand. And now on the right hand side, you see the new blood. Vinod, the giant.
Deepak was standing here.
Yours truly. Ratna is missing from the scene. He has done all the work. Mansi, a round of applause. Nicholas again. And then Anu.
Who is outside in the reception?
So she is working hard. So these are the people, these are the board members, but of course we have a vast organization. The board is supported. I think we have close to 70 associated members registered with our organization. What next? What do we do? I think we conduct cultural programs. We also conduct educational activities. For example, we are right now running musical classes for people at Westeros. So this is a glimpse of the events that we have conducted in this year. You can see I mentioned about musical classes. We celebrated Easter. As I said, it's a two-way street. We also learn about the Swedish way of life here. Holy celebrations, you are here today. Next on stage, next in line, we have a very big event, Namaste Stockholm. We move to the next slide. So what's Holi? It signifies different things for different people. For me personally, Holi signifies two things. Rang, which is colors, and Rishte, which is relations. For me, Holi is the combination of colors and relations. It's all about the relations in your life, the people in your life who make your life colorful. Today is a celebration of relationships. That's Holi for us. And I once again thank each one of you for taking your time to join us here today. Thank you very much. A round of applause for all of you. We move to the next slide. It's our 2 minutes of fame, Visa and News. So you see, last year Holi celebrations, you see all the board members from the last year, colored. Next slide. Next. You see our secretary there in action, Ratna. So this was a short program a cultural evening program we conducted in one of the cafes. And it's all about women power in Visa. Please give a round of applause to Sharmi. While I said that Amit is equivalent to Dr. Ambedkar for us, Sharmi ji is equivalent to Sachin Tendulkar for us. She is the heart and soul of Visa. She is the cultural lead of our organization. And her efforts have been recognized by Westeros Stad. She has been awarded a scholarship, a very rare scholarship, which is awarded to leaders who do exemplary work for associations like us. So we all are very, very proud of what she has done here. And it is because of her efforts that we all are binded together. So she is the thread which binds us together. Thank you very much, family. Continuing about women power, we have Madam Ambassador with us today. A round of applause for Madam Ambassador. I mean, she's a career diplomat. She joined Indian Diplomat Services in 1981. Just to put things in context, I was not even born then. Earlier slide, please. She has dealt with a wide range of responsibilities all across Europe. She has worked in East Europe, Central Europe, and now in Northern Europe. She has also worked in US. She has worked in South Asia. She has been a globe trotter. Some advantages of diplomacy. Of course, she is also a lifelong learner. She has done her Masters in Economics from Delhi School of Economics, correct? And then she has pursued a couple of certificate courses in National Defense Strategy from National Defense College of India. She has also done a certificate course in Diplomacy and Leadership from Oxford University. So that's also a lesson for all of us. Lifelong learning. And she is an avid reader, generally reads books with historical bias. And as it's a self-proclaimed thing, she has a weakness for life fiction, right? Law fiction, crime fiction. So thank you very much for taking your time, and thanks to all the members of the embassy who have joined us today. Thank you very much. It's all about women today. We move to the next powerful woman. We have among us today Åsa Coenraads. A round of applause for the Member of Parliament for West Bengal. Whatever little time she gets from her Member of Parliament responsibilities, she blogs. She is an avid blogger. You can read about her blog here. I have given you the link. The photo is copied without permission, but I hope that's okay, Åsa. Thank you very much for joining us today. Pleasure having you here. Lastly, what do we stand for? I think for real progress is important that all of us come together. We not only come together, we stay together and we work together. And while doing so, while retaining that diversity, it's important to maintain the harmony. That's what we stand for. Harmony and diversity. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is about Visa. Next on the stage, I would like to call Madam Ambassador as well as Åsa, both on the stage. Please. A small token of appreciation from Visa. Would request a few words from both of you, and then we would light the lamp and inaugurate the function. Please.
A very, very, very warm welcome to this function of yours from me and my embassy team, my deputy Mr. Vijay Kumar, my cultural attaché Supreet who is here, but even the members who are not here are sending you their wishes because you're actually doing the embassy's work by what you are doing here. I really appreciate the fact that OSA has taken time out on a weekend, which is very, we know in Sweden it's very precious time, family time. You have taken the time to be here because she does believe very much, I know, in the potential of India-Sweden relations. A very important fact that Deepak, who is so well informed about everything, but forgot to mention, is that she is actually the president of the India Friendship Group in the Riksdag. And being an active parliamentarian, she has taken on that additional responsibility, and I would like her to share with you why she has taken on that responsibility before I share my thoughts with you. Awesome.
Thank you, Mrs. Ambassador. Thank you so much for having me today. It was not so much time for my family today because I was at home working. So I just took my bike, 5 minutes ride to here because I live here. This is my hometown and it's a big honor for me to have you here in Västerås and that you can see our beautiful city. And the city of Västerås has a long cooperation with India, and it's an honor for me to be chairman of an association that could stronger the relationship between our countries, between Västerås, between the parliament and to India. And I hope we will have a long and prosperity future for us. Thank you so much.
Dear Visa members and others who are here, as I mentioned, Visa is actually doing the job that an embassy is supposed to do. So we are partners in that sense. And even though Visa is one of the more young Indian associations, we in the embassy have been very, very impressed with the way it has been organized, the professionalism and the commitment which its members have shown in carrying through the various projects. I remember calling Mr. Kanchan, the then president, for assistance when the Indian president was coming here in June last year, and the association really did all it could to contribute to the success of his program. I would like to share with you my vision or my perception of where India-Sweden relations are, where they can be, and my thoughts and my request to you to what role you can play in that relationship through Visa and also in your individual capacity. India and Sweden are two countries which have a lot in common despite the fact that we are separated by many, many thousands of kilometers. Those of you who have lived here for some years know what I'm talking about. What are the values that we share in common? We share a great and totally unbreakable commitment to democracy and freedom of expression. We Indians like to say what we think, and so do the Swedes. They may be a little more reserved about it, but once you start that dialogue with them, you must have been struck, as I have been, by how frank and transparent they are in sharing their views with you. And then their openness to other cultures. This is something that we in India recognize and value ourselves. Sweden is not it's not organically a diverse country like the way India has been, but it has embraced diversity. We have been a diverse country because the people who came, the people came to invade, and then they came to stay, and they came to enrich the culture of the country. So over decades, what Sweden has seen through decades, India has seen over centuries, which has given us this intrinsically diverse culture which really loves to share it with other people and loves when there are different things which mingle together. But Sweden, even though essentially it was perhaps a more harmonious ethnicity which started, but they have been following such an open doors policy, they have been welcoming other cultures, they have been welcoming people who need help, and they have then also begun to enjoy and appreciate what is coming from outside. In Stockholm today, there are more than 130 Indian restaurants. We know of many Indian cultural groups which are led not by Indians but by Swedish people who have fallen in love with Indian culture. And we saw this relationship get a great boost last year when President of India, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, came to Sweden on the first ever visit from India at that state level. And as I mentioned, some of you, I'm sure, were there as part of the program, either for the Indian community reception or at the speech that the President gave in Uppsala on the subject of Tagore and universal values. That visit really took the relationship, which does have a strong base based on common values, to a really much higher level. But as we all know, what really gives energy to a relationship, apart from connections between people, what is it? Any guesses? Business. Business and economic cooperation, so that the benefits of the relationship begin to reach the lives of the common people. Otherwise, two prime ministers meet, two presidents meet, they have a nice, conversation, nice photographs. But unless that means something to the life of a common citizen, that remains just a meeting. But that has not been the case with India-Sweden relations. Just over a month and a few weeks ago, Prime Minister Löfven was in India, in Mumbai, with the biggest delegation that he has ever taken to any country. And that visit was a smashing success. Sweden, which is not as well known in India as it deserves to be, was on every newspaper for those 2 days. In those 2 days, the media coverage generated for Sweden went into 37 pages. I compiled it so I can tell you that. So this relationship is really beginning to blossom and bring forth economic benefits as well. Just yesterday, in fact, I was in the ABB headquarters here and had the opportunity to meet the CEO of ABB, Mr. Johan Söderström. And it was a great learning experience even for me to hear from him what ABB has already done to upgrade the power infrastructure of India and what the future is going to be. And I know that many of you are engaged in helping ABB take that Indian infrastructure to the next level through mutually beneficial collaboration. All this to say that you are fortunate and we are fortunate to be in a country where the relationship with India is headed in absolutely the right direction and at an ever-increasing pace. What can you do to make this relationship better? I think you're already doing it. By setting up an organization like Visa, which gives visibility to the fact that there is an integrated Indian-Swedish community. You are already making it known that Indian people are a part of Sweden's prosperity, and you want to make it grow, and you want to share your culture with this country. Culture is one of those wonderful, wonderful things that the more you share, the more you have. And I have seen in the reading the Constitution of what Visa plans to do, that you are headed and you have absolutely the right vision for taking these things forward. An additional request that I would like to make, particularly to those of you who are professionals and who are engaged with ABB or with other Swedish companies, is since you are also connected with India, when you see a particular product or a service or anything which you feel will work for India or will benefit India, please please do what you can to make that connection. This is what is, I think, in the brief, I would say, the best contribution you can make to India-Sweden relations, to strengthen the connections in every way that you can, whether it is in economics or business or in culture. If you see something where you feel that a Swedish musician will also be interested and you can together make something which is really unique, go ahead and do that. Strengthen connections to strengthen cooperation. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the food for thought. And what more can we ask for when we're talking about Indo-Swedish integration? We have these two lovely ladies, and I would request both of them to light the lamp, the Indian ambassador, as well as the member of parliament from Västerås. I mean, a hand for Indo-Swedish collaboration. Everyone. Please, Shamiri, please, on the stage, come on. A round of applause for Shamiri.